Okay, looking at example 2, I want you guys to help me imagine that Dax is again traveling this graph. Okay, so let's grab Dax. And again, as he's traveling along this graph, I want you to remember that these will go, the ends of the graphs go on forever in all directions, right? So even though it looks like it's pointing down, I want you to realize that it's also pointing down and left. So remember, Dax always travels from negative infinity to positive infinity, right? Okay. Looking at this graph, I want to start out by saying where are my x-intercepts and where are my y-intercepts. Okay, so let's look at this graph and determine where it's crossing the x-axis. It's crossing the x-axis at 0 and positive 4. So my x-intercepts are 0 and positive 4. My y-intercept, where is it crossing my y-axis? It's crossing my y-axis also at 0. So my y-intercept is also 0. There's no other y-intercepts. All right, now let's travel with Dax and see what happens if he's going to be positive or negative. All right, so looking again, remember this graph goes on forever and ever down, but it's also traveling forever and ever left. So remember, Dax always starts at negative infinity. So you guys tell me, have we got, where is he traveling? Is this graph positive or negative where he starts? Looks like he's starting from the left in the negative. So it's starting negative at negative infinity, and it's going negative until where? Until it crosses the x-axis, and it crosses the x-axis at 0. So it's negative from negative infinity to 0, and then it looks like it changes to be positive. Do you guys see that? From 0, and it's positive all the way until it gets to positive 4. So from the interval from 0 to 4 along my x-axis, we are positive. So just from 0 to 4. But then it goes negative again. Do you guys see that? From 4 down below. So I'm actually going to union or include also that we have negative again. And it's going negative from positive 4, and then we always end at positive infinity. Okay, the last part we're going to do on this graph is whether it's increasing or decreasing. So as Dax is, oh, you okay, buddy? Yeah. Okay, as Dax is going along this graph, I want you to tell me what's happening along this graph. He is going uphill, right? He's increasing up until this point right there, and then he starts changing directions. So, but remember, we don't care. But remember, we don't care about anything along the y-axis. We only care about stuff on the x-axis because his name is Dax. So he is increasing. Remember, we always start at negative infinity. And he's increasing until where on the x-axis? Okay? It's switching locations here at positive 2. So from negative infinity to positive 2. And then as soon as he gets to that positive 2 location, he starts decreasing. He starts decreasing, and he decreases.
Where was Daddy?
Shh, he's out in the garage. He decreases from 2 to positive infinity.
May I have a snack?
Okay, so there's that for our other graph, and we'll go on to example 3 in just a moment.